Hi boys and girls, it's Miss Reynolds with B.O.R.E.D. Better Off Reading Every Day. Today's book is Monsters in the Mailbox by Ellen Jackson and illustrated by Maxine Chambliss. Reginald lived in a grown-up part of town. Grown-ups lived up the street, down the street, across the street, and none of them had any children. No one, that is, except Mr. and Mrs. Appleby next door. They had Anna Marie, who didn't really count because she was a girl. So Reginald had only his toys to keep him company. One day, Reginald saw an unusual advertisement in a magazine. Thought Reginald. I'll join the Monster of the Month Club. Then I'll always have someone to play with. He shook some money from his piggy bank and mailed it in with a coupon. Sure enough, on the 1st of April, a huge brown package was delivered to his home. "What's in the box?" asked Anna Marie, who had been playing hopscotch on the sidewalk. "Boy stuff," said Reginald as he hauled the package inside. He hoped his parents hadn't seen it. They wouldn't even let him have a kitten. Reginald opened the box. A blue furry monster jumped out. "Hello," said the monster. "I'm Stinky." "Wow," said Reginald. "You sure are big. What do you eat?" "Mud pies and box springs," said Stinky. He took a chomp out of Reginald's mattress. "Let's mix up some mud pies," Reginald quickly said. Reginald and Stinky loved the monster mud pies. Reginald's mother did not. "You need a place to sleep," said Reginald when it was time for bed. "How about under the bed?" said the monster. "I like to snack on dust balls." So Reginald pushed and shoved and stuffed Stinky under the bed. With Stinky around, Reginald was never lonely. On the 1st of May, another package arrived. "Hello," said monster number 2, who was yellow with fangs and wormy hair. "My name is Binky." "Gee," it was cramped in the box. "You don't happen to have a hot tub I could relax in, do you?" "You've got to be kidding," said Reginald. "How about an exercise room or a fax machine?" said Binky. Reginald shook his head. "Well then, I'm leaving," said Binky, and crossed his arms, stomping his huge foot and smashing a hole through the floor. I won't belong some ordinary kid." "No," shouted Reginald as Binky headed towards the door. "My folks will see you." Stinky blocked the door, then picked Binky into the closet. Reginald slammed the door shut and locked it. Soon they heard Binky growling on a shoe. "Yum, genuine leather," said Binky. "I'll sleep here." With 2 monster friends, Reginald had twice as much fun, but also twice as much trouble. When the monsters giggled and tickled and rolled on the floor, they smashed Reginald's crayons and kicked over the bookcase. "Son, I told you not to jump on the bed," Reginald's dad yelled from downstairs. "Har, har, har," laughed Stinky. He sounded like a hippopotamus with hiccups. On the 1st day of June, another monster was delivered. "Is it your birthday?" called Anna Marie. "No," said Reginald, closing the front door just in time. The new monster looked even stranger than the other 2. His name was Finky, and he breathed fire. It was cold in that box, said Finky, and I got a runny nose. Then he coughed and set Reginald's catcher's mitt on fire. Stinky dumped a tray of mud pies on the mitt to put the fire out. Don't worry about it, said Pinky. When it was time for bed, I'll sleep under the rug. Try not to set the house on fire, Reginald said. Look at this room, said Reginald's mom the next morning. Get busy, young man. I want you to clean up this mess immediately. So Reginald cleaned up all day while Stinky, Binky, and Finky lazed around toasting marshmallows. Are these my roller skates? Asked Reginald, holding up two gooey, slimy, half-chewed skates. He was feeling very grumpy. Yup, said Binky with a burp. The wheels didn't agree with me. On the 1st of July, Pinky was delivered, and Ginky arrived in August. Now Reginald had enough monsters for a baseball team. By December, he had a baseball team until Binky stole and ate all the bases. But January, the house was chock full of monsters. At night, the old house squeaked and creaked when the monsters were especially twiggly and wiggly. Could I have a glass of water? Asked Stinky at midnight. Me too, said Hinky, Rinky, Linky. I want one, cried Dinky, Inky, and Shrinky. Did you hear that? Reginald's mother asked his father. I think we have mice. On the first day of March, a gigantic package was delivered to Reginald's house. Out stepped monster number 12. My name is Winky, said the monster. I like ping pong and pickle sandwiches with ketchup, and I snore. Reginald and Winky played 98 games of ping pong. At bedtime, Reginald put Winky in the coat closet. It's too dark in here, said Winky, shivering. Reginald put Winky in the attic. I think I see a spider, Winky shuddered. May I sleep with you, pretty please? Oh, all right, said Reginald, rolling his eyes. Ouch, said Ginky. You're squishing me. What was that? Said Winky, sitting up. Who's there? Me, Banana Brain. I can't breathe, said Ginky, gasping for breath. His white fangs gleamed in the moonlight. Don't bite, screeched Winky, diving out the window. My sore toe, screamed Ginky. He hopped towards the door and tripped over Finky. Finky jumped up. In his hurry, he mistook the closet door for the exit. Help, he shrieked. Something big kicked me. He let out a blast of fire, then into Binky's wormy hair. Then both monsters screamed and ran through the house to the front of the house. The noise scared all the monsters. Shrieking and screaming, they stomped into the night. Reginald ran after them. In the front yard, the gang of monsters was running amok. Oh no, growled Reginald. What do I do now? Anna Marie's window flew open. Turn the hose on them, she shouted. Without quite knowing why, Reginald grabbed the garden hose and sprayed the frightened monsters. Reginald's father flung open the door. What are you doing? He yelled. I, said Reginald helplessly. I'm watering. Reginald looked around the yard. All the monsters had vanished. A swarm of fireflies hovered overhead. Well, come in this minute, said Reginald's father. That can wait until tomorrow. Goodness, Reginald, what will you think of next? In the morning, Reginald searched everywhere. He couldn't find a single monster. "Looking for this?" asked a voice. Reginald looked up to see Anna Marie holding a tiny creature. It was Winky. "Anna Marie rescued me," said Winky. "How did you know what to do?" Reginald asked Anna Marie. "I read the directions," she said, "back when I belonged to the Monster of the Month Club." "What direction?" Reginald said. "If monsters run amok, sprinkle with water," said Anna Marie. "When wet, monsters will shrink, then turn into harmless fireflies." I dried this one off just in time. Anna Marie said, "Reginald, would you like to come over to my house for a nice quiet game of checkers?" "If I can bring Zinky," said Anna Marie. She opened her hand. In it was a little monster. Reginald smiled. "Two monsters sound just right," he said. The end, boys and girls, of Monsters in the Mailbox. Boys and girls, I chose this story because it fit in with my theme that I've been mentioned to you the last couple of weeks, that I started a pen pal program where if you wanted to write to me, you can send me a message and I would send you some mail, or my address, and you can send me some mail, and then we could do mail back and forth so we could both be pen pals, because we've been out of school now for about 2 months, so I figured it would be the perfect time to start some pen pals. And I also wanted to share that book with you because that was also like a pen pal program. Each month he was getting a monster in his mailbox, which clearly became a little bit too much for him. And the young lady, Anne Marie, she read the directions, so she knew exactly what to do when something happened. Boys and girls, it's Miss Reynolds with B.O.R.E.D, Better Off Reading Every Day. And right now, with everything that's going on, it is so nice to receive some mail. So if you know of someone, not just me, who you could send a letter to telling them how much you miss and care about them, you should have your parents help you to do that, because when they receive that letter, I guarantee it will warm their heart. That's what being a pen pal is all about, sending love in a letter through the mail. And I also wanted to show you. There's my mailbox, my Star Wars mailbox. Love. I'll see you soon, boys and girls, probably at the mailbox. Bye.